But the pink spaghetti is one of the simple things because I think everybody's got stuff in the cupboard. Spaghetti, which is boiling away, a couple of onions, which I've just chopped up, and they're in a bit of olive oil, and some tomatoes.
Yep.
And if you can cut those into quarters for me, that would be great.
How many do you want?
A couple of handfuls. Whilst this is cooking, because one of the things that happens with people with onions I always find is they don't cook all the way through, and they sort of just don't quite work. So here's the tip. You start to cook them, and then you add to them, as they're sort of frying away, a little splash of water. Now what the water does, it does two things. First thing it does is it stops the actual onions from sticking, but also now what happens is you get steam, and steam makes things cook really, really quickly. Really quickly.
I love it when I come in and there's the onions on the top, the cooking onions. That smell is so gorgeous.
Well, there's something very, very nice about an onion frying, and I always think that one of the great ways to start any dish, if you're stuck, is fry an onion.
Yeah, I think
because there's a bit of inspiration there.
But you don't put any garlic in this, do you?
No. No garlic, no need for garlic.
And old tomatoes. It doesn't matter if they're quite old and squidgy. Is it better?
I think the older the better. The older the better. And all I'm doing is just chucking the tomatoes in as they go. That's absolutely fine. The thing about this dish is that it's the base of, this tomato sauce is the base of anything from a pizza, a pasta sauce, whatever you want. Once you've got this as a basic,
yep.
I think it's one of those things that you will use all the time. So lots and lots of onions, tomatoes chopped up, and they just cook down, and they cook down really, really quickly. And then, if you want to chuck the rest of those in, the smell of tomatoes when they're ripe is one thing. The smell of them when they're cooking, I think, is another thing altogether. Now's like the time I say to you, you can have plain pink spaghetti, or you can have any flavouring you want.
I know, well, because I love it plain.
Yeah.
But I also like it when we go a bit renegade and we throw some different things in. So can I choose some stuff?
You can choose whatever you like. Whatever you want, and I'll make it up.
Right. So I want, oh my gosh, I want anchovies and I want capers. Do I want smoked paprika or chilies? Chilies, dried chilies, a little bit of spice.
Okay.
Okay, so I want a little kick. My chilies, I'd like those. I love capers, and they're my favourite thing in the land.
Drain the olives and cut them in half so the anchovies come out. And there's our seasoning, so don't worry about any salt at the moment. A little bit of pepper, that's fine. Some chilli flakes. Look at those, lovely. Chilies and tomatoes. And the other thing with these sort of tomatoey sauce things is that they can be quite rich because the spaghetti takes up lots and lots of flavour, and I think that's what we all forget. The sauce needs to be really well seasoned. It shouldn't be weak and washy. And then a couple of spoonfuls of capers. Now those olives with the anchovies in it as well.
But you want these cut then?
In half,
please.
Whole? No.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Long ways, or doesn't it?
Any way you like, Lisa. And then this goes in, and that sauce really starts to boil, and all those bits of tomatoes start to break down really quickly.
It smells really good.
And it's amazing that you're suddenly transported into the sunshine, and regardless of what sort of day it is outside, and this just needs to cook for a little bit longer.
But
those tomatoes start to break down a bit more.
I think what's great as well is that it's anything that you have in your cupboard. So you could do, if you had some bacon, you could chop it up, couldn't you? Or some black olives, whatever you've got in your cupboard, you could put in herbs.
You just want more olives.
I'll just sit and eat them.
There you go.
I love them.
Chuck those in here.
Okay.
Fab.
Before they all go.
And there's your seasoning. So olives.
Some pepper.
Yes, yes, dear. Pepper's coming. Pepper. But the smell is good. And I actually think that in Italy, something similar to this is called a puttanesca.
Oh, right, okay.
I think so.
I just call it Jono's pink spaghetti.
With olives, anchovies, capers, and bits and pieces. But you can do, plain olives. You can do chorizo if you wanted to.
Yeah, very nice.
Prawns if you want to be really posh.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, spaghetti and prawns and posh. Capers go in.
Yeah.
A couple of teaspoons of capers. And even a little bit of that brine, that water, that will season it. So now our tomatoes are broken down and they've gone pink. You can cook it down more if you wanted to, that's fine, but that for me is where it should be.
I'm happy now.
This is a big secret though that I want everybody in the whole world to know.
Okay, go.
And it's about spaghetti water or pasta water.
Yeah.
Inside the pot with the pasta that's been cooked is almost like a floury, unclear liquid. It's sort of...
Starchy.
That's it, starchy water. That starchy water will bring any sauce back together that you have with pasta. If you've got olive oil or anything like that, it will bring it together. So you don't drain your pasta, you just take big lots of it and you literally drop it into your sauce.
And we get a sort of a spoonful of pasta sauce and put it in a mug by the stove, don't we? So that if your sauce has sort of gone quite thick, you can sort of let it down with it.
Yeah, anything, yes, that's right. Any time you want to let down any sauce, but don't drain off the pasta because that's got lovely water on it and you want it all to be about the same temperature. And if you do drain it, then you end up being all stuck together. Are you right there with your bowl? Look, you're like a kid in the canteen. Look at you. And then pasta and sauce must come together and become one.
Yes, but you always put your pasta in your sauce, not the other way around.
Pasta in the sauce, not sauce in the pasta.
Yeah.
Pan always really, really hot, and then mix the whole lot together. And as you can see now, the spaghetti is starting to turn pink. This is about as simple as it gets, but smell that, look at that.
It doesn't matter that it's simple, it looks amazing.
But you've got to keep it just cooking just a little bit longer. So look, the sauce is coming together. I know you're impatient, that's fine.
I am, I'm going to go
grab
get
yourself
a
a
spoon.
grater. No, grater for the cheese.
Oh, yeah.
There we are, now. And you see how hot that is? It should be so hot that it's very difficult to eat. And all that, look at that coming together. And it looks sticky and delicious. Turn you off. And now, the thing about this is you pick up a big load of it from height and drop it in the middle and let it fall as it wants to. Don't try and make it pretty. It's beautiful in its own right, I think. Look at all that lovely bits of tomato and capers and spaghetti and all those things.
Oh my gosh, it smells amazing.
Try your bowl. I'm actually starving now. And I think it's one of those things that every youngster at home, you make this, you will be in the good books. Tomatoes, onions, some olives, capers, bit of cheese across the top. There we are.
While you eat it, while you put the cheese on, I just want to have a bit.
Well, you do that.
You keep going. There you go.
You happy?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
Pink spaghetti, don't burn your mouth. Tomatoes are good, aren't they?
Oh God. It is divine. It is my favourite food, thank you.
No worries at all.